Hello friends, welcome to InsinoHub, your destination for powerful psychology facts, human behavior secrets, and self-improvement strategies that actually work. Stay curious, stay ahead. Let's decode the human mind together. Have you ever wondered why you suddenly crave something after seeing someone else have it? Why do some people seem instantly trustworthy while others make you uncomfortable for no obvious reason? Why do intelligent people make irrational decisions? And perhaps the strangest question of all, are your choices really your own? What if I told you that many of your thoughts, decisions, and behaviors are influenced by hidden psychological forces operating behind the scenes? For the next few minutes, we're going to uncover some of the most fascinating secrets of human psychology. But stay until the end, because the final psychological principle explains why people stay in toxic relationships, keep bad habits, and sabotage their own success, even when they know better. And once you understand it, you'll never look at human behavior the same way again. Let's begin. Meet Rahul. Rahul considered himself a rational person. He believed his decisions were based on facts and logic. One day, he entered a store to buy a new phone. His budget was around 25,000 Indian rupees. The salesperson first showed him a premium model worth 90,000 Indian rupees. Rahul immediately rejected it. Then the salesperson showed him another phone worth 42,000 Indian rupees. Suddenly, it looked affordable, reasonable, even smart. A few minutes later, Rahul walked out carrying a phone that cost nearly double his original budget. And he felt proud of his decision. But something interesting happened. The expensive phone changed how Rahul viewed every option that came afterward. Without realizing it, his brain had been manipulated. And the scary part? This happens to all of us every single day. Psychologists call this the anchoring effect. The first piece of information your brain receives becomes a reference point. Everything that follows gets compared to that anchor. Companies use this strategy constantly. Luxury brands use it. Restaurants use it. Online stores use it. Even politicians use it. Your brain loves shortcuts because thinking deeply requires energy. So instead of carefully analyzing everything, your mind uses mental shortcuts called heuristics. These shortcuts help us make quick decisions, but they also make us predictable. And predictability makes us influenceable. But that's just the beginning. The next psychological principle is even more powerful, because it doesn't just influence your choices. It influences who you become. Here's something most people never realize. The people around you are changing your behavior every day, even when they're not talking to you. Research has shown that emotions spread through groups. Happiness spreads. Stress spreads. Fear spreads. Confidence spreads. Even unhealthy habits can spread through social circles. Think about your closest friends. Do they inspire growth? Or do they normalize excuses? Because over time, the people around you become mirrors. And without noticing, you slowly start reflecting them. This means your environment is often more powerful than your willpower. Let that sink in. But wait, if our environment controls so much of our behavior, then why do some people completely transform their lives? Why do some people break free from addiction, poverty, fear, and self-doubt? The answer lies in the next psychological secret, and it might be the most important one you'll ever learn. Most people think motivation creates action. Psychology suggests the opposite. Action creates motivation. Think about it. How many times have you waited to feel motivated? Days pass, weeks pass, nothing changes. But the moment you take action, even a tiny step, your brain starts producing evidence that change is possible. Confidence isn't created before action. Confidence is created because of action. Motivation often arrives after movement, not before. This is why successful people don't wait for the perfect mood. They act first, and their emotions catch up later. Imagine a student preparing for an important exam. Every day, he tells himself, "I'll start tomorrow." Tomorrow becomes next week. Next week becomes next month. The stress grows. The guilt grows. The fear grows. Then one day, he forces himself to study for just 10 minutes. Something interesting happens. 10 minutes becomes 30. 30 becomes an hour. An hour becomes a habit. Nothing changed externally. The books were the same. The room was the same. The exam was the same. The only difference was one small action. And that action changed his psychology, not the other way around. But here's where things become truly fascinating. Your brain doesn't see reality. It creates reality. Before you disagree, think about this. Two people can experience the exact same event. One sees an opportunity. The other sees a disaster. One sees rejection. The other sees redirection. One sees failure. The other sees feedback. The event didn't change. The interpretation changed. And psychology shows that interpretation often determines outcome. This means your life isn't shaped only by what happens to you. It's shaped by the meaning you give to what happens. And that realization is incredibly powerful because it means you have more control than you think. The psychology of first impression. Let's talk about something that happens within seconds. First impressions. Research suggests that people form impressions astonishingly quickly, sometimes in just moments. Before someone speaks, before they explain themselves, before you know anything meaningful about them, your brain starts making assumptions. Why? Because your ancestors needed to quickly determine friend or foe. This survival mechanism still exists today, but it creates a problem. Sometimes we judge people incorrectly, and those first judgments can influence future interactions. This is called the halo effect. When we notice one positive trait, we often assume many other positive traits exist. Attractive people are often perceived as smarter. Confident people are often perceived as more competent, even when there is no evidence. Understanding this bias helps us make better decisions and avoid being fooled by appearances. Now let's discuss something affecting nearly everyone watching this video. The dopamine trap. Social media. Every notification, every like, every message triggers dopamine. Dopamine is often called the brain's reward chemical. But here's the surprising part. Dopamine is less about pleasure and more about anticipation. Your brain becomes excited about the possibility of a reward. That's why you keep checking your phone. Not because every notification is meaningful, but because one of them might be. And that uncertainty keeps you coming back. It's the same principle used in casinos. Variable rewards are incredibly powerful, and modern technology understands human psychology better than most humans understand themselves. Now we arrive at the most important concept in this video. Why people stay stuck. Why people stay in unhealthy relationships. Why people keep repeating destructive patterns. Why they refuse to leave situations that clearly make them unhappy. The answer is surprisingly simple. Familiarity feels safe, even when it's painful. Your brain prefers known pain over unknown uncertainty. A toxic relationship is familiar. A bad job is familiar. A harmful habit is familiar. And because it's familiar, your brain labels it as safe. This survival mechanism protected our ancestors. But today it often prevents growth. The greatest opportunities in life usually exist outside your comfort zone. Yet your brain constantly tries to pull you back. The battle between growth and comfort is one of the most important psychological battles you'll ever face. If you've learned one thing today, let it be this. Human behavior isn't random. People are influenced by hidden patterns, invisible biases, environmental triggers, emotional shortcuts, and unconscious habits. The more you understand these forces, the more you understand yourself. And when you understand yourself, you gain something incredibly valuable, the power to change. Because awareness is always the first step toward transformation. Now I have a question for you. Which psychological fact surprised you the most? Was it the anchoring effect, the dopamine trap, the power of your environment, or the idea that your brain creates meaning rather than simply observing reality? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video and want more psychology, self-improvement, and human behavior content, make sure to subscribe to InsinoHub and turn on notifications. Because the next video will reveal psychological tricks people use every day without realizing it. And trust me, you won't want to miss that one. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.